Welcome to America. Many immigrants were met by friends or relatives at Ellis Island. Rules were made to keep everyone safe. For example, single women could not leave by themselves. They could not leave with men who were not family members. Sometimes young men who were engaged to be married were met by their future husbands and married on the spot. One area of Ellis Island became so famous for happy reunions that it was called the Kissing Post. After passing successfully through Ellis Island, some of the new immigrants stayed in New York City. Others traveled by train to various cities and towns throughout the country. Finding work in their new country could be a challenge. These immigrants often took any job they could get. They worked as merchants and tailors, laborers and farmers, writers and scientists, construction workers, and police officers. These immigrants came from all over the world, but now America was their home. The closed door. When World War I, from 1914 to 1918, started, fewer people came to America. The Atlantic Ocean was a dangerous place. German and British ships and submarines were often in battle, so people were afraid to make the ocean journey to Ellis Island. Many people in the United States had become afraid of immigrants. The war had made Americans less trusting of people from other countries. When the war ended, more immigrants came to America, but the rules for getting into the United States were much harder. In addition to the medical and intelligence exams, immigrants had to prove they could read in their native language. President Woodrow Wilson vetoed this idea, which means he voted it down, but Congress overruled him and made it a law. They also had to have at least $25 worth of money from their own country. Then limits were set on how many people from each country could enter the United States. President Warren G. Harding signed this Quota Act in 1921. These new rules were a result of fear in America. There was a fear that new immigrants would take away jobs from those already in America. Many Americans feared that people from foreign countries could not be trusted. For a time, many Americans feared too many communists were coming to America. The early 1930s saw a brief increase in the number of immigrants to the United States. People from Germany fled to the United States to get away from Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party. Hitler and the Nazis mistreated and murdered many people, including millions of Jews. One famous immigrant from this period was scientist Albert Einstein. He left his home in Berlin and moved to Princeton, New Jersey, where he lived for the rest of his life. During World War II, from 1939 to 1945, many Italian, German, and Japanese people were held on Ellis Island because Italy, Germany, and Japan were enemies of the United States at that time. The U.S. government was worried about people from those countries allowing people from those countries to enter. The welcoming, open-door policy for immigrants was changing. Within a few years, the U.S. Coast Guard set up offices on the island and began using the buildings for storage. Ellis Island employed fewer and fewer people, and soon the government decided that the port was too expensive to run. On November 19, 1954, Ellis Island closed for good.